Right, first of all, how's the finger?
Not too bad. I mean, I've been back to see specialists down at the hospital down at Kingsmill, and they've sort of said 3 to 4 weeks, but with a sort of intense physio, probably looking at about 2 to 3. So I'm hopeful of sort of 3 weeks will be back, hopefully pushing to sort of get back in the team really.
I think we're going to have to call you radioactive man soon, all these x-rays you've been having the last few months.
It's terrible, I've never done anything like it. I mean, I've sort of, touch wood, I've been quite good with injuries throughout my career. Like at Lincoln I've played sort of 6 years without missing a game, and this year's just been one thing after another, and sort of to be out 5 months and work so hard to get back and get a chance, and then all of a sudden after 40 minutes to break and dislocate my finger at the same time, it's a bit soul destroying really.
You knew pretty much straight away that it was the worst really for it?
To be fair, I didn't really feel much pain. I just obviously gone to get the ball, and I thought my finger feels a little bit different, should we say, like, and then went to feel the ball, couldn't feel the ball either. I took my glove off and my finger was a bit of a right angle, so the doc's come on, and I thought he was trying to steal my wedding ring at one point as well, trying to whip that off really quickly, like, but he managed to do a good job in putting it back really quickly.
I suppose it's difficult mentally. I mean, we've spoke to you before and you said it has been mentally tough. When it happens a second time so quickly, how do you deal with that?
I think you've just got to sort of be positive and get on with it, because I mean, if you sit there and sulk, it's no good for yourself or anyone else around you. You've just got to be as positive as you can. These things happen in football. I always like to think it's part of character building, and it makes you a better person if you can deal with adversity that comes your way. So like I say, I'm just going to be positive. I've had 5 months out, so 2 to 3 weeks shouldn't really be too much of a problem really.
We're about 30 days away from Wembley, so I'm sure you're hoping that your body's your friend this time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously Groffy's had that bad news that he can't play in the final, but obviously there's myself and Niall that a lot of people sort of tend to forget as well. Like, he's done a very fantastic job when he played in different games. Like, so I mean, it's sort of me and Collie that sort of battle it out to try and play at Wembley really.
I suppose you thought, didn't you, you were getting back in, you've been sat on the sidelines, and you sat there again watching the games, and it watched Tuesday night.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you've been out 5 months, you want to sort of get back and get running the team, to be fair, and then with Wembley, like I say, so close, you want to sort of get back to your best and how you can play, especially for such a big game. And to do that after 40 minutes, like I say, is soul destroying, but I'm hoping to sort of get back and, if possible, get a couple of games before the end of the season under my belt. But like I say, it's Niall as well, who's probably thinking the same things, that he deserves a chance. So I mean, we'll both have a good go and see what happens really. There's
been a bit of banter between you both. I know there's always the goalkeepers union, you have a bit of banter as well. Has that been happening since?
To be fair, you have banter with everyone. I think you've got to have that in football. It makes you for a good team, good dressing room as well, and that obviously helps you on and off the pitch. But with goalkeepers, you sort of always want the other one to do well, and to be fair, Groffy's played really well in the games that he's played, and like I say, watching Collie from when I was injured earlier in the season, he done remarkably well as well. So I mean, it's always nice, but obviously you want to be out there yourself playing.
What about yourself as well, looking back at your career? Where would a Wembley appearance rank in everything? Because you've done a lot in your career.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've played twice at Cardiff now in playoff finals, and to sort of say that sort of in your career as well you've played at Wembley, it'd be fantastic. I know I've not sort of achieved any success in terms of promotions or anything like that, but to sort of, if you've finished your career and say, oh, I've played at Cardiff twice and I've played at Wembley, it's something to be very proud of. It's something that sort of I'm determined to do, or to try and do, and also I'd like to sort of take my little boy out with me. I think that'd be a fantastic thing for me, and for him to look back when he's older as well, to say that he's been out at Wembley with his dad.
You feel that, I mean, people around here still remember the '87 team because they won the Freight Rover. You feel that if you win, you'll become part of folklore in Mansfield?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this club, it's a big club, especially in this league as well, and it's all geared up for success, and it's something that the fans crave. And a Wembley appearance, you don't just want to go there and make up the numbers. I've been there and done that, and it's not a nice feeling at the end of that game. So if you can come away with it, it's something positive to sort of go into the start of next season, knowing that you won a trophy last year. We've had all the euphoria that comes with playing at Wembley, and you can take that positives and gives you a good confidence going into next season.
It's a very busy next few weeks, isn't it, for the lads? Is it just a case that you just have to keep rolling now and keep rolling and just take each game as it comes and not try and think too much about what's got to be done between now and the end of April? Yeah,
definitely. I know I think it's 4 games in 7 days, so I think it's just a case of everyone's just got to make sure they look after themselves and do things properly. And I know the management team are obviously making sure the lads get enough rest as well in between things, and it's a squad rotation thing. I know it's quite difficult at the minute with the amount of injuries that we've got, but I'm sure a few of them will be coming back and they will be needed. But at least the good thing we've got is they're all home games. We're not travelling the country, getting back at silly hours in the morning, and then got a game the next day after that. So I mean, that's one good thing you can take out of it, and playing in front of your home fans. So I think if you're playing games, it sort of breeds confidence. If you can get a good run going, it's a good thing, to be fair.
So what you're doing now, you just basically just walking, milling around doing nothing at the moment?
Well, I'm going around trying to sort of get a bit of sympathy with what I can, but I don't seem to be getting much of anybody, and it's a great excuse not to do any washing up at home anyway, so I like to just potter around, really, should we say, causing problems.
Elsewhere, you have been involved in a memorial fund.
Yeah.
How is that going at the moment?
Yeah, really well. I mean, we raised up to nearly £5,000 before we done the Lincoln 10k race on Sunday, which 47 people took part. So we're just hopefully waiting for the sponsor money to come in for that, and hopefully we'll get nearly £10,000. So that'll create two really good tributes for two people that mean a lot, so for myself and for a lot of lads I played with at Lincoln. It
shows, doesn't it, just the feeling that people have had. I mean, football has lost a lot of its sons recently, hasn't it, like this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Butch was 29 and I sort of lived with him for a couple of years, and his wife's my wife's best friend as well, so I'm really, really close in terms of him. That's what sort of made me want to get ahead and do this memorial fund. But you can see the reaction that we've had from people all over the country, the fans, sort of Fulham fans. You think that a lower league footballer would have no sort of impact on Premier League fans, that people have sent money in from all over the country, and it's very, very sort of, I don't know, flattering for him, I suppose, in a way, that someone that wasn't particularly the greatest player but give his heart and soul to playing football and his dedication, that everyone's wanting to make this memorial happen.
So how long, what have you got in the pipeline? Have you got things coming up in the next few months or stuff like that?
Yeah, we're going to keep it going. We've got a charity football match on Cup final day, and there's a bike ride going from Lincoln to Macclesfield to Mount Snowdon, and I think they want some of the lads to take part in some of the legs, but I don't know if football is going to allow that with a lot of people. And obviously charity dinner as well that we're trying to organise, and being a bit of a golfer, I'm going to see if I can sneak a golf day in somewhere, so any chance for a free game of golf anywhere, I'm sure a few people will turn up. But we're just going to keep going and see where it takes us, and obviously the more money we raise, the bigger and better memorial we can get created to them.
Well, it's a fantastic thing you're doing, Alan, and let's hope that you do get out there at Wembley.
Alright, thank you, cheers.
What's the buzz like in training? It always seems to be a pretty good atmosphere around the place. Is Wembley sparked it even more in there?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it was always, even when obviously not doing the best in the league, the results weren't going our way, like we still, the buzz was still there, obviously the banter was still there, it was just quality in training. And obviously now I've got to Wembley, well, it's just changed. Obviously, all the lads have picked up, everyone's together, everyone just wants to win, really. And yeah, like I say, it's just quality in training now.
We got, was it 5 games coming up in 12, 13 days very, very soon? So that means you must be hoping that you'll figure at some point within those a lot.
Yeah, obviously I'm hoping for another start. Obviously, I'll get on the bench hopefully. So yeah, like you said, there's a lot of competition, but I think I've done enough to get a chance. And obviously, Gaffer said he was going to give me a chance, so yeah, hoping so.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Talking about the competition now, though, the fact that you know, players perhaps maybe are going to be rested, you know, the closer and closer to you get to Wembley, do you think that's going to give not just yourself but everyone a chance to kind of stake the claim, if you like?
Yeah, well, obviously, Cons he's struggled with a few knocks, so he might get injured. Obviously, as our main striker. Yeah. And obviously, I'm a bit similar to Cons, obviously, with physical presence, and so hopefully, if you get arrested a few times, and I'll get a few starts under my belt, and obviously, players like Conor Higginson, obviously he deserves his chance. Obviously, you've seen what he's done, and obviously Luke Medley's going to play. So yeah, hopefully, I can just get a few more starts with Wembley coming up. Obviously, it's like the most important part of our season now. Yeah.
Do you draw encouragement from the fact, you know, you mentioned Conor, but not just Conor, Tom Naylor as well. You know, the kind of younger lads have come in and done well and taken a chance. Really.
Yeah, obviously, I looked at Tom Naylor for the whole season because he's just at the start of the season wasn't really getting a chance, but he's got his chance and he's took it. He's done really well, and obviously all the fans and everyone can see it. All the players think he's a really good player. So and obviously Conor's come back off loan. From scoring goals in a few leagues below, and he's come back in and he showed what he can do. He scored a goal for us the other night. So obviously, it's really encouraging to see that he's getting a chance, and hopefully I can just get a few more. Are
they kind of inspirations to you then, those two? You know?
Yeah, definitely. Naylor, obviously Conor will be a few games because he's a good player. Obviously, you'll see. But Tom Naylor's just been quality for the whole season. Obviously, like he's a young lad coming into a big team. So hopefully, I'll just get a few more chances and be able to show my ability.
Well, Gary, first of all, how is the foot coming along?
Yeah, it's feeling much better now. I needed a couple of weeks off really to get it back to how I want it. It's not perfect, but it's good enough to start training tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully I'll be involved on Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to ask you there. You don't feel yet that it is then too early for the weekend? You feel you can be fit and ready for that?
Yeah, it's still painful, but it's bearable pain now. So no, I'm not going to make it worse by playing on it. So see how I get through training tomorrow, and hopefully be okay for Saturday.
If you miss out on Saturday, there will be a lot of games coming up in the next couple of weeks to get back in the team.
Yeah, that's right. If I don't play on Saturday, then I think everyone will be involved over the next week or so with the amount of games we got.
What is the situation with it at the moment? Do you feel that once the matches start rolling like they are going to be doing, that really that's enough preparation, that training takes a little bit of a backseat because your matches are your training really? Yeah,
I don't think we're doing much training next week at all. I think we're just doing enough just to tick over a few cool downs, ice baths. But yeah, like I say, the lads that are playing, they won't be doing much training at all, just to rest as much as we can really.
And a Thursday night game coming up, that one will be a novel one, won't it?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played it on a Thursday night before, so that'll be a first for me. So obviously it's going to be a tough week, but it's the way it goes.
Have you been, when the injury happened, of course Wembley was there and beckoning, did you worry for a moment that there could be a big problem there?
No, not really. I've done it against, I think it was the second game against Luton in the first half, and it just got worse and worse during the game. Then I did play on it a couple of games after that, but during the end of them games, I was struggling to even kick the ball, so I thought it's best just to give it a bit of a rest. Now I've got it almost back to how it should be.
Now, of course, you're one of the longest-serving players here. You've seen managers come and go. You've seen probably whole teams come and go during your time here. How's this current team and manager stand with what you've had previously here at the Mill?
Yeah, I think it's personally, I would say it's probably the best squad we've had. I think cutting the size of the squad down has done us wonders. Really, I think we're a real tight group now, and hopefully, that'll prove at Wembley.
As I mentioned, the whole team's come and go. It does have a destabilising effect, doesn't it, when that happens, when you're seeing players that you've worked with disappear?
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, you've got to build new relationships off the field, and also you've got to build new relationships on the field. And you can sometimes get a good partnership going with someone, and then obviously they leave or something like that happens. So it can be unsteady at sometimes. But you've just got to get on with it. That's the way it goes, football sometimes.
And what about the manager at the moment, Duncan Russell? You'd have known him because he was under David Holdsworth. Has he surprised you in the way that he does his managerial style?
No, not really. I think he's been pretty much the same really as what he was doing under David. I think Hawley's come in and done a good job as well, and I think that's shown in recent results really.
What's he changed that's made it? Because it's quite clear that the form has improved, hasn't it, under Duncan Russell? What do you think is the secret to his success?
I think the best thing he's done is probably cutting the squad down, as I've said before. I think we've become a much tighter group, and everyone feels more involved. And I think the team's stayed more settled, and obviously that's helped.
Stevie Eisted has been deputising for you at right back. How do you think he's been doing?
Yeah, I thought he's done well. To be fair, it's not his natural position. But he's one of the players that could play anywhere really. He's obviously a fit lad, and I think he's done a decent job.
Have you been sort of joking with him and saying, look, hey, not long before I'm getting that position back?
Well, he's been joking with me saying that I'm not going to get it back. But obviously there's a lot of competition, which is obviously healthy for everyone.
We touched on the FA trophies, and you've been here a lot longer than a lot of the other players. Just what does this mean for Mansfield, not just as a club, but as the town and the fans that you've played for a number of seasons? Yeah,
obviously it's massive for everyone involved with the club. It's going to be a good day. Obviously we've made history really for the club, and it's going to be a day for everyone to be involved in and enjoy.
And what about that back line alongside you? One player that's probably surprised a few people on the outside has been Tom Naylor. He's come in and really sort of cemented his place in the first team squad, but you've probably seen him grow and nurture in the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, he may have surprised a few people outside, but I don't think he's really surprised anyone inside. He's been like that in training for like the last 2 years really, and he's got, obviously you can see he's got good quality there, and he's good in the air, he's good on the floor, he's got everything really, and I'll be surprised if he stayed at this level for much longer really.